Okay. So, hi everyone, my name is Jodie Brunatti. I've been with the Regional District of Kootenai Boundary for about a year and a half now. My background is like civil general contracting, so when my lovely boss Janine threw this project at me, it's new. It's a new one, so I thought, oh, why not? So I don't know if you guys have. So, some of you fine folks might have noticed we were out on the dive boat this summer, putting down mats in problematic areas with dense infestations of fragrant water lily. A little bit of the project background. So many residents of Christina Lake have raised concerns about the dense infestation of fragrant water lily and requested this invasive plant be removed from this lake to maintain access and to protect environmental values. So, as you guys know, Phil just presented before me, the RDKB has been using divers to control infestations of milfoil in the south end of the lake, which you can see it's problematic to get to. And exactly, however, the dive crew is not able to reach all sites and instead focus time on smaller isolated sites up the lake. So in 2018, the RDKB completed a preliminary investigation into control options of fragrant water lily. An estimated diver crew cost for digging versus cutting over a 3 to 5 year period depending on the site size. So this pilot project has been set up to test the feasibility and using floating benthic mats to control dense infestations of milfoil in problem areas. They found that the benthic mats have been successfully used in the Kootenai and Columbia systems by the Central Kootenai Invasive Species Society in partnership with the Okanagan Nations and So have you guys heard of these benthic mats or anyone? Okay, so we'll go to the next slide. So the floating benthic mats are for aquatic plants to grow. They require sunlight when you reduce or eliminate to stop synthesizing food and then they die. So benthic barriers are efficient at killing aquatic plants with small root systems, typically only in a few months. Benthic mats are weighted down by rebar and float inches above the lake bottom, blocking sunlight from the plants. So this is one of our mats that we rolled out. There's in between there, the little flaps there, there's rebar and it actually it's weighted down by the rebar and it just floats just inches above the lake bottom, like a lake bottom blanket. So we tested out these mats in 2 site locations, one in Christina Creek and the other site to kind of near where the community center is. So we've got site 1 and then site 2. This is a picture of the mats in the lake. We just put buoys on them so that the boating traffic could see them. We laid them down with the white side up, so it was more visible for boats if they were passing by, instead of the dark side, which wouldn't be as visible. And then so we did find, so the plant health at site 1 and 2 was measured every 6 weeks, August 1st, and then again on September 19th, and then removal on October 17th. So we measured the root condition, the firmness, the coloration, presence of fine root hairs, stem length, and number of stems and leaves and new shoots attached to the roots. So we did have some promising results, but like I said, this is a 2-year pilot program. This is just year 1. These are just preliminary data. We need to get more to conclude it. So as expected, the number of healthy stems and leaves was reduced under the barriers to 0. The root health did decline by the end of the season. However, only 1 location was found to have completely decomposed roots, indicating actual death of the part of the plant. As you can see, we've got a number of shoots at, you got site. Data from site 1 and then data from site 2 in our year 1 testing period. Next slide. So This is, the roots of the fragrant water lily, from our first testing session on August 1st. As you can see, like our control outside of the mats, very, very healthy. And then as they kind of move into, like, this was like one foot from metering, and then this one was under overlapped mats. So site 1 and site 2, and then we've got the next slide, which is on September 19th. As you can see, it's like under the mats, they're not as healthy looking as the control, which is again outside of the mats. And then next slide, please. And then October 17th, this was what we are. We're going to have to do a second year of the testing just to see if we actually had any success in killing the water lily, or if they were just dying off because that's their natural cycle. Any questions? Yes.
First of all, funding, and it was still, I think at the beginning of your presentation, you talked about the milfoil project, again, funding from RDKB, specifically from taxpayers in this community.
Yeah.
Is there no provincial funding?
The provincial funding was cut, decades ago.
About 30 years ago, I guess.
Yeah.
And I will add to that is, thank you for asking that, Kristen. I have an issue, quite frankly, with the province not chipping in and helping with milfoil. 60% of that lake is provincial park. And thank heavens all of you people want to keep this lake in really, really good shape. And you're all paying for milfoil eradication. So does that clarify that a little bit?
I was wondering what the province would do.
They do fund Champion Lakes, for instance. So do you think I haven't put in a big complaint about that?
Yeah.
Champion Lake doesn't have a lot of milfoil, but they do have some, and then the province pays for that. And quite frankly, if we look at what Christina Lake is to the whole area and to the boundary and to the province, then they should be helping out. And we have met with them in my time, at least that many times.
So we should talk to Rolly Russell.
Yep, again. And Rodney will understand that. He was raised here.
I have a question about the mats. So are they still down there?
No, we removed them in October and then we are storing them at one of our facilities.
And then will you put them down again next
Yeah,
year?
in the exact same two site locations. What we did find is, with the mats, there is like sediment that will settle on top of them, which we found first thing that showed up there was milfoil. So that was one of the issues that we found with the mats and the settlement that settles on top of them. Yes.
Years ago, before you were born, there was a mechanical harvester employed on the lake. And was it to attack a different milfoil or a different weed?
To that, I was here then too. We have done mechanical removal, hand pipe removal. We've spent $50,000 looking into a weevil, on and on. You're right, we did. And you know what happened? It pulled out the weeds, took all of the good weeds with it, spread it all over the place because it doesn't pick all the fragments up and does not work in this lake. Well, and largely too, because this lake has water lines all the way around the lake going into the lake, and it would yard those water lines right out of there. So several reasons for that.
Yeah, I figured as much.
Yeah. They do it in some of the Okanagan, large Okanagan lakes. Yes?
Hey, what I was gonna ask, I'm at a point of curiosity, when you took the mats up and you had the dead environment there, what died off successfully, did you have to go in and clean that up as well?
No, we just left that in place.
Okay.
Minimal soil disturbance. Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, One sometimes leads to the other, that was my.
We'll go here. Dennis, and then back to.
Well, I can just verify what you said. I was on that crew at that harvester. And basically, we were cutting the milfoil at a depth. And half of it floated away.
Yep.
There was no way for us to bring it onto the boat at all. There's only two of us on the boat. The question is, because the milfoil, the way it propagates, how do these water lilies propagate? Can they be cut?
They can be cut. So the water lily is a tuberous system. So it grows by underground.
Yes.
From what we know, or Phil could probably better answer this question on the propagation of water lily.
I think it spreads by rhizomes.
Yeah.
It does.
Am I correct? And so it will continue to go under even if you cut it.
According to what the biologist was telling us, that cutting can be an option, but it takes 5 to 7 years of treatment to cut them. And once, I guess, the root runs out of carbohydrates, then it doesn't have enough energy to send up shoots for the next year. And then the rootstock dies, and then that's what I was.
I guess what I was questioning is after the mat's down, of course, or over, whatever, and it dies, how long does it die for? Or does it regenerate?
That's what we're trying to figure out.
That's here too.
I think the weed people would have the answer to that. Bart Stewart and some of those people that really do a lot of work on invasives will have the answer to that. And maybe we could find that answer and put it on the stewardship website.
A bunch more hands around, I think. Or, yep. Yep, go ahead.
I was wondering if there's some potential for volunteers to come, especially in those shallow areas at the end of docks, which is snorkel to help people with, no
I think I came across this question 2017, 2018, and if you want, you can, absolutely. However, we can't.
I
Endorse
could
it.
probably address that a little bit.
Yeah.
We have been asked that before, and there was some discussion on could we train people? People are cutting it, in their area, but they're cutting it and not paying attention really well to the fragrance. Having said that, at the end of your dock, if you go down there and pull it and make sure all the roots are with it, I guess we're not gonna go in there and say, you can't do that at the end of your dock. At the same time, it can't be a regional district project if you're doing that. So I have to make that really, really clear. Does that help?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. More, go ahead.
The pick and release is a problem too.
Yep.
You can pull it up in front of your
They
dog,
don't
but if
put
you
it
let
in
it
bags.
go,
Yeah.
it just goes in the next dog.
Just a question on that water lily. Was it ever in this lake prior to the recent years and are you seeing it in any other lakes?
I can't speak to other lakes. Don't know. What I understand.
The water lily?
Yeah,
Oh,
what I
yeah.
understand. is-
They're trying to have it, make sure, invasive species for a long time, we're not allowed to address aquatics. That is changing. They're in the process of adding aquatics onto what invasive weed people, i.e. Bart Stewart, blah, blah, do. And that should have happened a long time ago, quite frankly, in my estimation. But at least now they're saying and identifying those kind of things, a fragrant water lily, blah, blah, as part of that, their projects. So in that instance, I'm gonna have a meeting with 3 people and we will be, probably giving them some grant and aid to do more work in our area.
Grace, one question, if you're gonna be doing the meetings, does anything eat the water lily?
You know, not that I've ever heard, in all the time I've talked with Barb Stewart about that, I have never heard her say anything attacks the water lily.
Yeah, just out of curiosity, because some countries actually propagate.
The only thing that eats water lilies are beavers, and even then, it's only native species of water lilies.
And we do have those in the lake too. We need to protect those ones.